Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. Once again, nothing huge, but we do have two topics to cover. We're still waiting for the Reckoning of Roku excerpt, the preview, to come out. It's now going to be the latest one of these has ever been. June 4th has passed. Last year on June 4th, that was when the Legacy of Yang Chen preview came out, so we're still expecting an excerpt at some point. It's just, I guess, going to be a little bit later than we're used to. Not sure what's happening with it, but I'll cover it when it eventually does drop. But in other novel news, the Shadow of Kyoshi paperback version has an updated cover. So I guess this is the actual cover they're going to be going with when the book actually releases on October 15th. So you can see here in comparison to what the more standard cover is, it's the same image, so there's no new art necessarily, but they've changed the graphics kind of around it a little bit. It still has the kind of red paint kind of effect, but instead of it being kind of like a swirl around the edge, we have a little insert here for the New York Times bestseller kind of tag, and then we get all of the text for like the name of the book, the author, Chronicles of the Avatar, blocked off in the paint at the bottom. I think it's a nice slight adjustment to the cover just to make the paperback stand out a little bit as being different. Otherwise, there's not too much to say about it. But what's interesting here is that we had never, and still don't, have what I'm guessing would have to be an equivalent cover for the Rise of Kyoshi paperback. Now, this book is coming out on the same day as The Reckoning of Roku. This is coming out before this book, so it's kind of weird that we got the Shadow updated cover before the Rise updated cover. But I would be really surprised if they don't go for the same kind of visual aesthetic on the cover here. Because you'll note that the placeholder, I'm guessing, image that they have is really plain. Like, it doesn't even have Chronicles of the Avatar on it. Admittedly, first edition versions of Rise of Kyoshi, before it was confirmed to be Chronicles of the Avatar, also doesn't have this tagline. This is more of a later print run thing. But it says it on this one, so I'm assuming they'll have it on this one. And again, I'm assuming they would go for something along the lines of this, where we'll have the black swirl maybe here. They'll have Rise of Kyoshi maybe in white, just to make it stand out a little bit and be in line with this. Because again, for collectors who maybe will be buying the paperbacks as well as already having the hardcovers, it really does matter a lot that the books are all done in a similar style so that the collection looks pretty nice. I'm probably going to get the paperback anyway, just to see kind of it in a slightly different format, but it would be really nice if it did have this, so it's just weird that we don't have it yet. But something to keep an eye on, as of course we are in the final month and a half until release of this, but of course also a Reckoning of Roku, that keep an eye on that. Next, some merchandise releases coming out. So from Numbskull Designs, first of all, just a pretty minor one. They have a Appa Nintendo Switch case, basically. So you can see here it's got faux fur, got a kind of chibi Appa on it. Looks kind of nice. A little bit late in the game for getting a new Switch case, given that I think we're expecting the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called to be announced. Like, it feels like any month now or something like that. So, you know, it's something there that's kind of interesting. So, interesting enough. And then the big thing, because I'm sure a lot of people maybe saw this image, Mike and Brian holding these kind of rubber duck kind of type things, of course. These are Avatar The Last Airbender tubs, Tubbz. And of course, they're doing 4 of them in this initial wave or whatever. Cabbage Merchant as a duck, Aang as a duck with Momo, who is not a duck, Toph as a duck, and then a turtle duck, which already is a duck. Weird kind of novelty items, of course. Interesting enough. I think the turtle duck one is very cool and interesting, and just as a way to get a turtle duck, it being in the form of like a rubber duck style thing, is actually a kind of interesting idea for a piece of merch. really don't know how I feel about the kind of morphing the other characters into ducks to kind of make it into a collectible line. Just the turtle duck on its own, I think, works as a gimmick item. I'm not sure how I feel about the others necessarily. So let's go into the website here. You can see they're all up for pre-order right now. They're coming out in August. If we go into one of the listings, you can see kind of here's a kind of turnaround here, and a bit of a look at them. But you can see the pricing here is £20, $25, €25, expected end of August 2024. There's what the packaging, I guess, is going to look like. It's going to come in a tub with plastic over the top. It is itself made out of PVC, of course. It says it's a premium collectible, obviously. 3.54 inches tall, basically 9 centimeters, outside of its packaging, I guess. Interesting. It's I'm not sure like how necessarily I feel about it. Like I said, the Turtle Duck one kind of has an appeal to me. It's something like, oh, maybe I'd grab that if I can find it for a good price. Will I pre-order it? Who knows, maybe as a bit of a gimmick item. Don't feel too strongly about the other ones. And then, like, especially if they're going to continue this, it's kind of like a bit of an odd collectible line necessarily to have. Now, maybe they'll just keep it to this initial wave, but the fact that there's no like Sokka, there's no Zuko, it's a bit of an odd one, obviously. So that's I think basically all I want to say. Actually, I'll quickly check what the deal is with the Appa Nintendo Switch case. Okay, so on the Numskull website, they have it here. Pre-order for August once again. £18, $22.50. So that seems okay. Not sure. I do think it's a little bit late for it, though, is what I will say. So, yeah, that's basically the video. We're just waiting for bigger stuff to happen, the releases to actually come out. We're in June. We're expecting a little bit to happen this month, of course. We expect the preview for Reckoning of Roku. We should find out what's happening at San Diego Comic-Con, likely just a publishing panel and maybe a Braving the Elements panel, but we'll see what happens. And beyond that, just waiting for the Iroh RPG book to release, and in August, of course, Bounty Hunter and the Tea Brewer, the comic, is going to come out, and hopefully the Mako comic gets solicited at some point, maybe this month or next month, but we have to wait and see what happens. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on what's going on with the paperback covers and what's happening specifically with the Rise of Kyoshi not having it, but the Shadow one being there. That's a bit of an odd one. Avatar tubs. Does this interest you at all? Let me know. But yes, that has been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.